Ah, screw it. Alright, yeah, this isn't a COD commentary, I'm talking about a different video game, and while I know this video is probably not going to get over 1,000 views because of that, I still want to talk about Battlefront 2 ending. I can't believe I haven't done a video on this yet. I don't know, Modern Warfare has been really good to my channel, I didn't really want to jinx it, but screw it, we're at the end of the month, I might as well just talk to you guys about Battlefront 2, because this is an interesting topic to me. I have seen a lot of people since DICE announced that they are done supporting Battlefront 2, other than a couple of patches here and there. They're pretty much done adding new content and keeping up with the game. And I've seen a lot of people saying that they need to keep supporting it and that the game is just getting good, and I've seen petitions and all of that. And I love the game. I recently fell in love with it over the last couple of months. It's now one of my favorite Star Wars games. Don't ask me how, it just happened. But the idea that DICE needs to keep supporting it is, in my opinion, sort of flawed. As much as I love this game, it's been out for years, and it is still a buggy, inconsistent mess. And as much as I want to love it, the connection, the hit detection, bugs with certain heroes or certain characters, they sort of rule the game for me. They stick out like a sore thumb. Compared to some of the other shooters I play, Battlefront 2 sort of feels like it's still in beta, and that's unfortunate. I can't list to you every single bug and problem in Battlefront 2. It's not my place. I'm not a Battlefront 2 channel. I haven't documented and wrote all of those down. I haven't followed all of them. But if you've played the game and you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry, you're not paying attention. Honestly, I could make an entire rant video just on the inconsistency of hitboxes alone. The game feels incomplete, and that's sort of what gives it charm, that's sort of what makes it kind of fun. But as far as being a complete and competitive video game, I don't know, Battlefront 2 from 2005 does a better job at that. The amount of time they would have to put into the game to make it a polished experience, I think would take too long. And also, could they guarantee that they keep all of their players while doing that? I know about the famous Battlefront 2 spike of players. That's where I started to come in during that giant spike of players, and I'm really happy the game got that. But it didn't take long for PC players to start complaining that they're having trouble finding matches again, and even after 2 months, I've sort of dropped off with the game. But as a video game, as a competitive video game, it doesn't hold my attention for very long once I've leveled up all my classes and the heroes I enjoy playing as. That's really where the game became stale for me, and then the issues with it stick out a lot more. I think they're better off in a couple years making a more refined and clean Battlefront 3, with a lot of the features and heroes and things from Battlefront 2 carried over, but with some new ideas and, most importantly, a whole lot of polish. I really wish EA didn't have their hand in it, because I would love to see a Battlefront game on a different engine, an engine that's a little bit more consistent and smooth for competitive online games. It always feels like in Battlefront 2 they were forcing the Frostbite engine to do things it just wasn't comfortable with. It felt that way in Battlefront 2015 as well. Just look at the amount of jank in Battlefront 2 compared to games that have engines that are built for them. The Frostbite engine was not created for a Star Wars game. It wasn't created for third-person action hack and slashing, and that's why, honestly, the lightsaber combat in both Battlefront, EA, DICE, Frostbite, Battlefront games, it's why it's so bad and clunky and just sort of stupid to look at. It's fun, don't get me wrong, it's just that it obviously looks unfinished and it looks like a clusterfuck. My dream thing for DICE to do is to create a new engine, maybe based off of the Frostbite engine, that's built for lightsaber combat in third person, and have better blaster characteristics, better hit detection, better character models, and overall just a more consistent experience. I'd also hope that the next Battlefield game doesn't push for large player counts over performance and consistency. Battlefront 2 servers feel like they run at 10 Hz sometimes, and I can't help but think it's because the engine's having trouble handling everything. I mean, playing on console and trying to fly one of the starfighters around, it glitches and lags in the air, it's almost unusable sometimes. Now, I know the comment section is going to be filled with, well, that doesn't happen to me, but these are well-documented issues and problems and complaints. And while I can love Battlefront 2 for its jank, I think a new engine is what the series needs. An engine designed for Star Wars combat, for really fast starfighters, third-person lightsaber heroes. And maybe the next game can make it so when I'm playing heroes versus villains, half of my deaths don't feel like, heh, what? I feel like I fell in love with Battlefront 2 a little too late, but I enjoyed the fun that I had with it, and it'll be a game I come back to for a while until Battlefront 3 ever comes out. Honestly, for co-op and heroes versus villains alone, they're really fun Star Wars-y experiences that, yeah, I can come back to anytime I want. But I think after Battlefront 2 and the first EA Dice Battlefront, I really want to see a more refined Battlefront game. I want my standards to be a little higher for the next game. It's amazing how DICE turned Battlefront from zero to hero, and honestly, from villain to hero. But all of the time they've put into the game to make it as good as it is now, plus the amount of time they'd have to put in to refine what it is now, and to smooth it over, and make it more consistent, and make it more polished, you might as well just make a new game at that point. Now you can blame EA or you can blame DICE, but there are a lot of games that come out of the DICE studio that don't launch well, they don't perform well at launch in terms of, software, and then later down the line, they refine them into something beautiful. And while that's great to watch as a player, it's also really terrible to deal with as a consumer. Battlefront, in my opinion, is a series that needs extra love. I think Battlefront as a title deserves its own engine, deserves its own dedicated development team. It's fucking Star Wars, for God's sake. And I feel like it's getting table scraps. Even Jedi: The Fallen Order, it was a great single-player game, don't get me wrong, but it lacked that polish, it lacked that finish. It could have used another year in the oven, but I feel like EA wanted to push it out to get everybody hyped for it around the same time as Rise of Skywalker. But regardless of who you blame, the result is the same. Star Wars is getting really solid products, but not good, finished, polished products. And it's a universe that deserves good products. It's a universe and a storyline that begs for dev support and real teams that can make it happen. And I don't feel like EA is the studio to handle it. So I sort of hope Disney spreads out the Star Wars license between many different studios, maybe rebuilding another LucasArts-style studio that just works on Star Wars games. Otherwise, we're gonna get bad games that end up good, or decent games that stay decent, instead of great games that get better. And I think we could get better. I think we deserve better. But Battlefront 2, I salute you. You did the impossible. You turned me around. You changed my mind. No YouTuber did that. No special montage of clips did that. No, I loaded you up and you brought me in, and I enjoy you. So thank you, Battlefront 2. Thank you for anyone that watched this video. I know this is not my usual content, but I'm still gonna tell you to buy my merch, donate to my channel, subscribe, hit the bell icon, like the damn video, and if you don't, I don't blame you. I just yelled at you. Who would listen to somebody on the internet that yelled at them? Nobody. See you when I see it.